Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with a mighty Jingles. Today I've got a double feature for you. It's the same battle shown from two different perspectives. It's a Tier 9 platoon in a Tier 9 battle here on Himmelsdorf. Today's guest stars are DRC Moose in the British Conway Tier 9 tank destroyer, and there he is, and his platoon mate, Major Sledgehammer, in the ever-reliable T-54, and there he is. Not quite sure what's going on with the matchmaking in this battle, and I'm not talking about the tier spread. The matchmaking, well, the only way the matchmaking could be any more favourable for DRC Moose and Major Sledgehammer is if they were the only tier 9s on their team, but it's rather the number of KV5s that are in play. Have a look at that. There are 5 KV5s on each team. A third of all of the tanks involved in this battle are KV5 Soviet Tier 8 premium heavy tanks. That's great news for Sledgehammer in the T-54. He can bounce shots from KV5s all day with a bit of careful angling and only exposing his turret, but it's not such good news for Moose in the Conway. The Conway, unlike the Tortoise, which is the other British Tier 9 tank destroyer, has absolutely terrible armour. What it does have, though, is a hoofing dirty great big gun, the 120mm L1A1, exactly the same gun in tank destroyer form that you get on the British Tier 10 heavy tank, the FV215B. 259mm of penetration and 400 average damage with 0.32 accuracy and a 1.9 second aiming time is going to make mincemeat of those KV5s. However, that was a Waffenträger Panzer IV, which just put a shot through the front of his turret and took a third of his health off, so yeah, not a great start. What's Major Sledgehammer up to? Oh, there he is. He's driving into the railway station. He's going to get himself hulled down behind that pile of rubble up there, and he's going to sit around waiting for victims. And this is a good position to be in a T-54. It's got a very, very tough turret. But it's only a good position if there are enemy tanks driving into your line of fire for you to shoot at. If not, it can get very boring here. So we're going to leave him to it and go back to Moose in the Conway. He really did not like getting smacked upside the face by that Waffenträger, so he's pulling back, trying to get himself out of view range of the KV5, which doesn't have a fantastic view range, and he's spotted himself a Tier 7 medium, the KV13. There's your 0.32 accuracy for you. Oh well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. You have got to be kidding. What's Sledgehammer up to? Alright, we'll come back to him in a minute. Let's see what 259mm of penetration does to the front of a KV5. And he is actually aiming for the weak spot as well. There you go, very satisfying. Sledgehammer, what are you doing? Yeah, I think he's finally realised that there's nothing coming around this side of the railway tracks, so he's going to have to get that motor running, get down there and start shooting up some tanks. And that's a very vulnerable looking Super Pershing just hiding around the corner at the bottom there. KV5 in the middle of the road. Sledgehammer's constant use of auto-aim can be a little disorientating, but stick with it. Right now he's going to get himself a dose of surprise butt-sex on this unsuspecting Super Pershing. Bang, there we go. He's completely screwed now. He's getting shot from the top of the hill. He moves forward. Moose is going to get him. He stays where he is. Sledgehammer's going to get him. There's his first kill. Very happy, of course, to see Major Sledgehammer fulfilling the stereotype of T-54 drivers by firing high explosive anti-tank ammunition into the side of medium tanks a tier lower than him. But he's switched back to the regular armour piercing now. Meanwhile, Moose has not been idle. We're just winding the clock back a couple of seconds here. There's the KV5 that Major Sledgehammer passed coming down the other side of the road, on the other side of those buildings. This guy is actually coming down the road backwards. Watch this. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. There he is. Yep. It's not actually as stupid as it sounds, because it does cover up the big old machine gun turret weak spot at the front of the tank. The only problem is, you have to angle when you're doing it, and you can't really do that on a narrow city street. I've tried it, and, well, I just constantly get my engine set on fire, but I've seen people doing it very, very effectively. That guy, not so much. But hey, at least he's trying something new. Ah, victims. Oh, aim for the IS, hit the AMX CDC. That's a bonus. Obviously the CDC is a higher tier tank, so it's worth more experience and credits for doing the same amount of damage. The CDC's been taken out. Aims up at the IS, just as the IS takes a big hit from something, and then a far, far juicier target presents itself. Now, too late to save the Type 59, who's now got an IS-8 and an E-75 behind him. In fact, he's gone. But Moose is able to do a good amount of damage to that IS-8 before the Type 59, which just died and was the last friendly tank up on the hill, stops spotting and relaying the positions of these targets, and there they go. IS-8 pops out of view range. Moose manages to slot one just past this friendly KV-5 and hit the weak spot of the enemy KV-5 there, which is very welcome, and let's see what Major Sledgehammer's gotten himself into. Do you remember that KV-13 Tier 7 medium that bounced a 120mm shell from the Conway's gun on the front of his turret? Yeah, there he goes again. He's leading a charmed life. But it's not really about the armour of the KV-13, although it is a surprisingly tough Tier 7 medium tank. It's because Sledgehammer keeps using auto-aim. And, well, there we go. His tracks have taken that one, but he's determined to get that Waffenträger. And so he leaves the KV-13 for now, puts one into him, his tracks eat yet another shot. KV-5 at the back there has turned around and started paying attention. The Waffenträger does not want to get hit again. He manages to pull back, get his tracks repaired just in time, and I thought this KV-5 was going to push him out in front of these guys. It wouldn't be the first time you've seen something like that happen in a random battle, but no. He gives him space to breathe. That Waffenträger 4 has to be the priority target, and full credit to this enemy KV-5 driver. As soon as he became aware of the threat to his flank, he wasted no time whatsoever in getting around here and doing a heavy tank job, covering his tank destroyer and his medium. Very, very cheeky move from Sledge there, using the friendly KV-5 as concealment in order to get around and finish off that Waffenträger. And now it's KV-5 versus KV-5. Although it is around about now where Moose has finished with the IS-8 on the hill and he's turning his 120mm gun around to assist the friendly KV-5, although it's a little bit too late because he's done, which means that Major Sledgehammer here has the KV-13 all to himself. Enemy KV-5 did very, very well, but now he's doomed, and Major Sledgehammer is not going to take a risk of getting hit. Instead, he leaves him for Moose to finish off. And a shot there from friendly artillery, finishing off the enemy artillery at the bottom of the road. So, 4 of them left against 6 enemy tanks, and they are being capped. They've got friendly artillery, Moose and Sledge, obviously, and this T-25 too, who has done a very, very good job so far. They're being capped, however, and there's still an awful lot of heavy tanks remaining on the enemy team. In fact, there's nothing but heavy tanks remaining on the enemy team, so it's time to reset the cap, and Sledgehammer, he's going to take the scenic route, and while he's doing that, we're going to switch back and see what Conway's getting up to. So, Conway, T-25-2 with a 90mm gun, eesh. And the FV207 with a really, really big gun, and nothing but praise for this FV207 driver. He just didn't waste time getting stuck in, and the T-25-2 as well. And Moose, of course, in the Conway, who, that was really, really lucky he didn't hit the T-25-2 in the back of the turret, but if it's stupid but it works, it ain't stupid. He's killed one of the KV-5s. Unfortunately, here comes the IS-8 and the E-75. Manages to smack the E-75 in the side of the turret. Artie's reloaded, he's coming out for another go. Unfortunately he misses. You know the IS-8 is going to come out and kill him, but he suffers heavily for doing so. Back to Major Sledgehammer. You know, I know that everybody likes to take the piss out of premium tank drivers, especially Tier 8 premium tank drivers, but these KV-5s, full credit to these KV-5s, they were doing exactly what they needed to do to try to defend the tanks that were capping. Sledgehammer, once again, fulfilling all the stereotypes of T-54 drivers. He's back to the heat. This is going to be an expensive battle for him, but check this guy out. He's coming down to, basically, he's going to sell his life to try to ensure that those guys in the cap don't get hit any further. Unfortunately, they're caught in a crossfire. The T-25-2 and Moose in the Conway, and that is the IS that was on the hill. He's been on 54 health since the last time we saw him, and he's still there up on the hill. There he is, you can just about see him. Sledgehammer going through heat ammunition as if there was a sale on. It's going to be an expensive game for him, and This constant auto-aiming is going to be the death of him. He's disengaged the auto-aim now. With his last round of high explosive anti-tank ammo, he actually aims for something that heat is going to penetrate, i.e. not the tracks of a reverse side-scraping KV-5. Full credit to the KV-5 driver, doing exactly what he needed to do to survive and make the most of it in this situation. Sledgehammer now out of premium ammunition. IS on the hill takes another shot and misses. He's going to close in, and he's going to try to finish off this KV-5, but the KV-5 is not finished, scores a hit, does some damage before he finally goes down. And with his final shot, takes out Sledgehammer's driver. Back to Moose in the Conway. They've just lost the artillery, and Moose is having some of the luck of that KV-13 driver, bouncing shot after shot after shot on the flimsy turret armour of his FV4004 Conway. And he's about to nail himself a nice fat juicy IS-8 who wasn't quite as well tucked around that corner as he thought he was. And have a look at this T25-2. He is not shy at all. He's getting well stuck in here. This guy actually finishes third on overall XP earned, which is not bad for a very, very flimsy Tier 7 tank destroyer in a Tier 9 match on a city map like Himmelsdorf. Moose is going to get this E75, sees him, tries to angle, just a little bit too late. Check out the look of this T25-2. He just bounced a shot from that KV-5. Speaking of unlucky shots, check this out. This is the very first time Moose has taken a shot at a KV-5 and not aimed at the weak spot. T25 is not going to get lucky twice. And what happens? He does no damage. All he does is blow his tracks off. And then with his next shot, he's aiming for the weak spots again. Yeah, he's learned his lesson. Or, failing that, the flat side of the turret cheek armour as he turns around to attempt to deal with Major Sledgehammer. And with the turret turned to the side there, the second shot is a guaranteed penetration. So, there we go. Cap defended. Enemy tanks slaughtered. All that's left is an IS. There he is. He only has 54 health. Here's that .32 accuracy for you. Yep. Oh, it's typical, isn't it? Yeah, we've all seen it happen. Shot after shot after shot, bang on target, and right when you really need it to count, RNGesus steps in and says, nope, not today. So, they're going to have to hunt down and kill an IS. But at the end of the day, it's just an IS. It's a Tier 7 heavy, and he only has 54 health. And these guys are both in Tier 9s. And they know he's on the top of the hill. And while the Conway, well, it's faster than the Tortoise, but it's still not a particularly quick tank destroyer. But that's okay, we've got a T-54, except, hang on a minute, isn't his driver dead? Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? The only thing worse than being in a T-54 with a dead driver is being in a T-54 with a dead driver and a damaged engine. Actually, scratch that. The only thing worse than being in a T-54 with a dead driver and a damaged engine is being in a T-95 with a dead driver and a damaged engine. And yes, I speak from bitter experience here. I know exactly what that feels like. 6 kilometers per hour. And that's when you're going downhill with a tailwind. A T-95 in this situation is basically a bunker. So at least he's not in a T-95. But where's that IS gone? Is he in the same spot where we last saw him? And that would be no. Oi, Sledge, he's not up here. Can you see him? Hang on, give me a minute. I'm going as fast as I can. And that's not very fast. Nope, he's not down here. Well, he's not up here either. Are you sure he's not down there? I'm pretty sure I know what an IS Tier 7 heavy tank looks like. And trust me, there are no IS Tier 7 heavy tanks down here. Have you checked all the corners? Look, I'm telling you, he's not up here. Are you sure he didn't get past you before you got into position or something? Look, I'm slow, but I'm not that slow, right? He's got to be still up there somewhere. Oh, no, found him. He is down here after all. Jolly good. Do me a favour, just keep him spotted, but don't kill him, because I want a Top Gun. So, basically your plan is for me to not kill the tank with the 390 alpha damage gun while I'm on 352 health, and wait for you to get down here and kill him before he kills me. Did I basically sum that one up? Yeah, pretty much. I hate you right now. Oh, stop your whining and just keep him spotted. You're in a T-54. Yeah, a T-54 on 352 health, and he's got a 390 alpha damage gun. You know, if he's loaded premium ammunition, I'm toast. And if I die, I don't get a brothers in arms. Oh, stop your crying, you big girl's blouse. I'm going to get him now anyway. Where's he gone? What do you mean, where's he gone? He was right there. Have you lost him? What do you mean, have I lost him? You were supposed to be... You had one job, Sledge. One job, and you screwed it up. Alright, alright. Look, he's an IS. How far away can he be? I mean, there's a limit... Oh, shit, I found him. Finally. Right, don't worry, I'll be there in a minute. Now, don't do anything silly, will you? Don't shoot him, don't kill him. I'm after the Top Gun, so you just keep him spotted, and I'll come round and shoot him in his big fat Russian ass. Moose, I think I lost him again. Oh no, I found him. If you're going to kill him now would be good. What? I don't see him. Oh, you sneaky bloody Russian. There he is. Don't worry, I've totally got this. And bingo, Top Gun. Thank you, thank you. I'd like to thank my family, my agent. Aren't you forgetting someone? Silence, peasant. Only people with Top Gun medals are allowed to talk at the end of battles. So, battle results time. DRC Moose managed to get himself an ace tanker out of that one, as well as a bruiser, fire for effect, brothers in arms, defender, high caliber, and, of course, Top Gun. Scrolling down slightly, we can have a look at exactly the same replay battle results uploaded by Major Sledgehammer in the T-54, and check out the medals this guy earned. While he only got the first class mastery badge, he also got bruiser, hand of God, duelist, fighter, fire for effect, shell-proof, brothers in arms, and steel wall. He actually bounced, naturally, unbelievably, he actually made money out of that match. Did not expect that, not with the amount of premium ammunition he was firing. It cost him 54,000 credits to reload his tank, but he bounced almost 2,000 damage with his armor. Some really, really good performances in that match, particularly if we were to sort the battle by experience earned. Deal here in the T-25-2, finishing third on experience earned, but damage done nearly 7,000 from DRC Moose in the Conway, and 4,400 from Major Sledgehammer in the T-54. But check out JR Shell here in the enemy E-75. Major Sledgehammer got the steel wall because he survived. JR Shell actually bounced 3,840 damage in his E-75. That's a guy who knows how to play an E-75. Just unfortunate that he couldn't be on the winning team. So there you go, a little bit of double action with Major Sledgehammer in the T-54 and DRC Moose in the FV4004 Conway on Himmelsdorf. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.